Jin-Roh, the Wolf Brigade isn't just a story about armored soldiers or political conspiracies. It's a haunting exploration of control, dehumanization, and the line between predator and prey. Set in an alternate history Japan ruled by martial law, the film follows Kazaki Fuse, a soldier trapped between duty and conscience after witnessing a young girl's suicide. As he draws deeper into a world of betrayal and power struggles, Jin-Roh forces us to ask, in a society built on violence, can anyone truly remain human? Mamoru Oshii, the creator of the Kerberos saga, was significantly influenced by Japan's 1970s anti-occupation, pro-communist protest movements. He was involved in high school activism during this period, but shaped his fascination with unsuccessful political resistance, oppressive police states, and bureaucratic stagnation. His works often reflect the disillusionment of these movements, portraying a world where protests fell and the state retains control through overwhelming force. The 1970s saw an intersection of leftist movements and artistic innovation in anime, with directors like Miyazaki, Takahata, and Dazaki incorporating strong political and social messages into their work. Miyazaki and Takahata were part of the Workers' Film Association, which sought to create politically conscious animation. While Oshii was stylistically different, he shared their critique of power structures, though he leaned more into the themes of felt resistance rather than hopeful change. Jin-Roh is part of the Kerberos saga, a dystopian alternate history where militarized police suppresses uprisings. This directly parallels Japan's post-war environment where leftist protests against US influence and Japan's growing authoritarian policies were met with harsh police crackdowns. The Kerberos name itself evokes the mythological Cerberus, symbolizing the role of a state as a relentless enforcer of control. Unlike most of Oshii's projects, Jin-Roh was directed by Hiroyuki Okiura, with Oshii handling the screenplay. The film was produced by Production IG, known for Ghost in the Shell and other high-quality, serious-toned anime. The studio's expertise in detailed realistic animation was crucial in depicting the brutal yet melancholy atmosphere of Jin-Roh. Producer Taro Maki played a key role in securing funding and ensuring the film's unique blend of action and political commentary. Jin-Roh was heavily inspired by European cinema, particularly the pacing and framing techniques found in French and German art house films. This historical and artistic foundation makes Jin-Roh not just a thriller, but a deeply reflective piece of Japan's socio-political past. Jin-Roh showcases a grounded, highly detailed animation style characteristic of Production IG. The film features a strikingly realistic approach to both movement and design. The characters appear almost rotoscoped, with fluid and naturalistic animation, giving the impression that the film could have been shot in live action. The film was traditionally animated, requiring 80,000 cells, as Hiroyuki preferred hand-drawn techniques over digital animation. The world of Jin-Roh feels lived in and heavy, pulling you into its bleak alternate history setting with a level of detail that makes everything feel unsettlingly real. The use of light and shadow contributes to the film's somber and oppressive tone, reinforcing its themes of political turmoil and personal struggle. The character designs are understated but effective, emphasizing realism over stylization. The armor of the Kerberos Panzer Cops, particularly their iconic red-eyed helmet, serves as a haunting and unforgettable visual motif that symbolizes the film's themes of dehumanization and control. The soundtrack of Jin-Roh was composed by Hajime Mizuguchi, who created a hauntingly atmospheric score blending modern classical and electronic elements. Mizuguchi's work emphasizes minimalist arrangements, particularly through the use of strings, subtle brass, and synthetic soundscapes. The soundtrack uses slow, deliberate motifs, creating an air of inevitability and tension that complements the bleak narrative. Some tracks, like the main theme, utilize repeating themes that subtly shift in orchestration, creating an ongoing sense of unrest. The sound design, particularly the use of environmental noise, is integral to the film's atmosphere. Rain, wind, and city sound subtly punctuate scenes, often heightening the isolation felt by the characters. Jin-Roh is a film deeply intertwined with political and psychological themes, focusing on the nature of authority, loyalty, and the human condition during systematic violence. At its core, the narrative explores the tragic consequences of dehumanization and the loss of personal agency within authoritarian regimes. The self-destructive spiral of Kazaki Fuse, an officer within the elite Kerberos Panzer Cops, becomes the film's emotional focal point. His inability to follow the orders and kill Nanami Agawa, a member of an insurgent group, triggers a cascade of events that reveal the chilling inner workings of the state. The film presents a world where the distinctions between good and evil are blurred, as figures in positions of power exploit human vulnerability and subjugation, thus forcing the characters to navigate a terrain of moral compromise. The evolving relationship between Fuse and Kei, who is revealed as a pawn in the state's game, further amplifies the psychological tension. Kei, embodying the deceptive allure of Little Red Riding Hood, symbolizes the destruction of innocence and the inevitability of betrayal in a society governed by fear, manipulation, and loyalty to the state. The tragic culmination of their relationship, the forced death of Kei at Fuse's hands, underlines the despair of a world where personal agency is sacrificed in the name of political power and control. The story of Jin-Roh also delves into the societal impact of political ideologies and the clash between military-industrial forces and intelligence operations in post-war Japan. The structure of the state, divided between public security agencies, the military-like Kerberos Panzerkampfs, and various underground factions, mirrors the historical tensions in Japan during the 1950s and 60s, when the country was undergoing rapid political changes and struggles with its identity after World War II. The narrative's alternate history setting acts as a dark reflection of Japan's post-war societal fears, influenced by the rise of left-wing radicalism, labor strikes, and the threat of communism, which permeated the national consciousness. The character's psychological struggles, especially Fuse's identity crisis and his struggle to reconcile his duties with his emotions, highlight the consequence of living in a world dominated by militaristic ideologies, somewhere where empathy and personal conviction are suppressed. The film contrasts with the cold efficiency of the unit with the vulnerability of the insurgents, making it clear that the human cost of war, conflict, and political maneuvering is not only physical but also deeply emotional and psychological. This exploration of human suffering, loss, and betrayal forms the backbone of the film's critique of political structures. Jin-Roh is a film that has stayed with me long after watching it. The way it blends intense, mature political storytelling with deep psychological exploration is something rare in anime. The narrative doesn't just tell a story, it evokes a powerful sense of loss, moral ambiguity, and the harsh realities of living under authoritarian control. The finale is the peak of this, a gut-wrenching, inevitable moment that hits hard. The symbolism and poetic elements throughout the film make every scene feel deliberate, each frame steeped in meaning. There's a level of sophistication here that sets it apart from other films, especially in how it handles complex themes like loyalty, betrayal, and personal agency. It's a film that requires thought and introspection, and one I find rewarding to revisit. It's not just an action-packed dystopian tale, it's a powerful, mature work of art that leaves you questioning the nature of control and sacrifice. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm curious what you guys have to say. What was your favorite moment or scene in Jin-Roh? Which character or part did you find the most compelling? Be sure to let me know. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for making it until the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.